2 parents, 6 kids, 1 dog, a camper named Ruby, and a car named The Beast. Distance learning across the USA and interviewing interesting people we meet along the way. This is the Ruby Road Stage Tour Podcast.
Hello, everybody. This is Carmen Ventrucci back with another episode of the Ruby Road Stage Tour Podcast, where we interview people who are following their own road that we meet across the USA while we tour the country and distance learn in an RV. I am very excited to introduce my guest today, Caitlyn Havener. So Caitlyn is a resident of Florida. She is a healthy nutritionist, weight log, recipe guru, blogger, who is just changing people's lives and helping them get healthier. She's also a mom to 4 wonderful kids, and she recently got engaged, so she is planning a wedding on top of everything else. Caitlyn, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So I do have to mention, Caitlyn is one of my clients. I'm helping her build her business. I am one of her clients. She helped me with some radical weight loss results last month. So I'm very excited. And thank you for that. You've kind of changed the way I eat. I love it. So
Carmen's been awesome too. Awesome business coach.
Thank you. Thank you. You've had some great results. Caitlyn, the stage is yours. What do you want to talk about today?
Well, I think I'd love to talk about my health journey. It's been a wild roller coaster.
Yes, I know about it a little bit, and I can say that that is right. It has been a wild roller coaster. So what about it?
So I lost 50 pounds in 2016.
Wow.
And to be real, it wasn't just weight. It was a complete transformation. In 2016, when I went through my breakup, I knew I needed a change, not only for my own self-confidence, but I was struggling to get my son to school in the morning, just, due to being tired all the time and being depressed and just being miserable, really. I had a friend that worked at a medical weight loss center. I was very skeptical about whether that would work for me or not. Like a lot of people, I had been yo-yo dieting for years, and at that point was feeling kind of hopeless about it, about being able to lose weight and stay healthy. But like most pivotal events in your life, I realized it was time for me to get back on that horse and try something again to improve my health. If for anything, just to be able to take care of my son, as a single parent. So I started this medical weight loss journey. I didn't really think I was going to be able to do it, but there was something about accountability, and that's what's great about having a coach in anything that you do, that made a big difference for me. And I started seeing the weight loss pretty quickly, and I think that also was very motivating. However, I realized that some of the people that I knew went to the center had lost a bunch of weight and then gained it all back, plus some.
Okay.
And I knew I didn't want that to happen to me. So in tandem with going to this medical weight loss place, I realized I needed to learn how to live a healthy lifestyle in general so that I can keep that weight off. And so I started doing a little running at the time. I had to limit it because what the weight loss place had you do was pretty crazy, and it's not really what I advocate with my own clients now.
Right.
I ate less than 1,000 calories a day.
Oh my goodness.
And I was on stimulants, so that's what that helped. Fatermine, one of those weight loss pills, and it was not easy. Like, I was fantasizing about food. That's kind of how I got
ice cream, or whatever it is.
It became like a dirty desire. I'm like, ooh. that burger you're eating looks so delicious. Yeah. So that's kind of how I got myself through, but and the weight just melted off of me. So but I was starving myself. I mean, that's what it was. It was medically supervised starvation.
So let me ask you a question. So I know you mentioned what you do now versus how you lost the weight is a lot different. Am I hearing you right that you lost the weight one way, but you really sustained it practicing what you preach now?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think if I I did what I preach now before, I would have had results. It would have taken longer, but it would have been a healthier means to get there. But I'm happy that I'm on the route that I am on today because, this is a life change, and it's going to keep me healthy. So, like I said, I started running when I was doing the weight loss. I couldn't take it very far because I wasn't eating much. To be frank, that's a little dangerous. And then I sort of got obsessed with nutrition. I've been studying nutrition on my own for a while. And I recently got a certification as a nutrition coach with Precision Nutrition. So
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's wonderful. And so let's talk about what led up to this big life change for you. I know you mentioned you went through a big breakup. And isn't it interesting? You're not alone in this. I know a lot of people who have gone through a breakup and then made major life changes, whether it be weight loss or whether it be changing careers or moving for that matter. Tell me, what other consequences, good or bad, have come out of this major life changing event for you?
Yeah, I mean, I call this particular type of event, losing weight, the single fast. I think it's a phenomenon. A lot of people pursue weight loss after a difficult breakup, but there were, it was really hard for me. I actually had to break it off with him. He was having some issues with drugs, substances. And he got to a point where he was very nearly bipolar, I would say. Like, he would scream at my son for opening the fridge. And he didn't respect me. He didn't respect people in my family. So I had to I had to break that off, and it was really painful. And I mean, but through that and through some other experiences I've had, I really do solidly believe that painful experiences have the potential to open up doors to wild self-growth.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Sometimes we may not see it, or we may not realize it, or even want to realize it when we're in that pain and we're in those moments where we're at our low. It's hard to know that you are at your low, and because you've gone through that, because you've walked that journey, that things are going to get better.
Absolutely. So I mean, I look back at that experience, and as hard as it was, I'm happy for it, because it pushed me to reach for a new level. And it's not, and again, I have to emphasize that it's not just weight loss.
Right.
I went through my transformation, and I asked for a raise. A lot of my social anxiety that I had, that was crippling, really. Like, I didn't want to talk on the phone. I still get anxiety about talking on the phone, but I am so much more confident now, and I have so much less anxiety. So I mean, and there are many other ways that it's been a positive change in my life.
So tell me about getting the raise. Like, what's going through your mind as you're walking in and asking for a raise? Tell me about this.
Oh man, let me put myself back in that. I felt pretty bold. I think I started questioning if I was being too bold. Maybe I was getting a little a little bit too much confidence. But hey, it worked. I got a really good raise. And then not long thereafter, I was promoted in the position that I was in. So, I mean, confidence does a lot for you.
It does. I mean, confidence is something we all have. Sometimes we just have a little trouble activating it. And so when you can find whatever it is inside of you to activate it, wonderful things can happen. For example, asking for a raise and then getting promoted. And then Caitlyn, I know you made a big career step recently.
Haha. Yes. So I know deep in my soul that I'm an entrepreneur. I went to school for web development, and I went to school for web development because I wanted to be a digital entrepreneur. Well, out of school, I started doing freelance work, and I mean, that was cool and that was fun. I didn't plan on doing that forever. I wanted to do my own thing. This company found me, and I kind of liked working for them because I started working with them at the very seed of this startup. It ended up becoming a corporation. I was a second employee. I had stock in the company, so I kind of felt like it felt entrepreneurial. But once they started getting more corporate, it's just not my personality. Like I'm a solopreneur, starter, rebel type person. I hate processes. I hate deadlines. I hate all of that, So for the last, I think almost 2 years, about a year and a half, I've just been miserable at work, and it was hard for me because I'm making decent money. This job really, it can be really hard, but most of the time it's really easy. And it was so hard because I'm like, I can't just walk away from this. But I continued to complain about it, and I hate to be that type of person that complains and doesn't do anything. So I've been hustling for over a year. I hired you, hoping that I could get some mentorship to be able to get out of this corporate lifestyle. It's not me. And I've also had this burning passion to help others go through a similar transformation that I went through. So one day my fiance was like, I'm tired of hearing you whine about your job. And I promised him up and down, I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to find some money. It might take me a couple months, So, I mean, it's been a couple months and I'm still hustling it. But I don't regret it. I think that it's scary. It's another one of those pivotal, somewhat painful things that I know is going to yield something great. And right. I really hope that I think that door is wide open, and now I have that runway to be able to get this moving and to start helping people and hopefully changing some lives.
And so you've told 2 stories now of pivotal moments in your life. The first one being your breakup. The second one being you leaving your job to go full-time into business for yourself. And that there's a commonality I've heard in both of the stories. You feel unfulfilled and you did something about it. And so I want to congratulate you on that, first of all, because sometimes other people might be feeling unfulfilled and they just go with it. They don't do anything about it. And you see it all the time. You can read it on people's faces. You can read it in their body language. You can read between the lines in the social media posts and see that they're just settling for it. I am really proud of you because you did not settle. You knew you could get better. You knew you deserved better, and you went and got better. So if the listeners take nothing else away from this podcast episode, you deserve better. You can get better. So congratulations.
Thank you.
So that is awesome. So Caitlyn, I got to ask, because I have a similar story to you. I left my corporate job in 2019, went full-time for myself. And one of my biggest lessons was I was so used to having someone tell me what to do And I knew that when I left my corporate job, I would have to be the one telling me what to do. It still took me like a good 3, 4, 5 weeks to realize that. Like, oh, I really am my own boss now. Oh, it really is on me to make sure all this happens. Have you had any other big lessons moving from a corporate world to a small business, solopreneur, entrepreneur world?
Yeah. I had already started getting some practice at ruthless prioritization.
Nice.
But now it's even more so that, but with having to seek that direction, like, I ask you this, and I just asked another friend of mine who's a solopreneur, like, I have to think every week, what is the greatest limiting factor for my business right now?
Right.
And then you only have so many hours in the day, and especially when you're doing something that you enjoy, those hours are gone, and like it feels like an hour. So
Yes.
having to reevaluate almost daily, like, what is the best way I can spend my time today, and is it going to accomplish that limiting factor right now? So I think that has been a huge, I mean, it's a continuation of lessons, but it is a strong lesson as an entrepreneur, for sure.
Oh, absolutely. That the priority management, I prefer priority management over time management, is huge, because you need to
Mhm.
understand what actions are going to convert into revenue for me. What actions are going to help serve my clients at the highest level possible?
Mhm.
And what else can I delegate? What else can I eliminate? What else can I just, you know, what can the family take on? What can a VA take on? And so it is a balancing act for sure.
Yeah, and then for me, that I've been in the web world, so
Mhm.
I can be a little bit of a, Carmen told me, stop nitpicking your website. It's
Stop.
time to
It looks
sell.
great. Go sell. So
Like, it's not perfect yet.
I
So
understand. Stop anyways.
not being a perfectionist about certain things, huge thing for me is that, um, as a web person, as a developer, I had that comfort of being able to hide behind a computer,
Right.
and I had to do items that were handed to me that I just had to tick off, and okay, this is done, this works. um, as an entrepreneur, I'm having to learn how to network and talk to people, and not just be, yeah, I might be behind the computer, but I'm doing all this
Mhm.
outreach that's
Yeah.
frankly really uncomfortable for me. Like, really uncomfortable for me.
And that's
um
okay.
yeah, so
Getting
it's
you're
and
getting more comfortable with it the more you do it.
yeah, I mean, I'm kind of putting it like, I've had like 4 interviews type things today. I'm putting them together so I can just like have a pep rally for myself in the morning, and all right, I'm ready. I'm gonna be able to talk to all these people, and we knock it out. And like I told
Set
you
yourself up
yesterday,
for success. That's smart. That is smart.
so and like I told you yesterday, I like to focus on sales and outreach for a couple weeks, and then have my introvert week where I can, you know, write blog articles, and just take it easy a little bit. Um, and so that's been another area of growth for me, becoming an entrepreneur.
Wonderful. So, Caitlin, I do want you to point out too, I think you have a very unique selling proposition for your clients and your health. It's not a weight loss program. It's a health program. Tell the listeners real quick what makes you unique in this whole world of health.
Well, there's a couple things. Most programs out there, they are very restrictive, and they don't really teach you how to live a healthy lifestyle. So, for example, if you're going to go to Weight Watchers, or even just enter your food in MyFitnessPal and count calories, um, that's restrictive. Keto, you don't do any carbs, for example. It's restrictive, and you're not learning how to live in the long term in such a way that's going to allow you to maintain these results. When you are doing a strict program that doesn't allow you to have certain foods, or you have to count every little thing, you're not going to continue living that way. And so you're not going to maintain those results. My program, we tackle one habit at a time that allows you to, learn habits that make you successful and healthy in the long term. So that's one thing that's different about my program. That's, is awesome. Secondly, I am what I call plant preferred. I don't put any kind of food in the bad or good, block. We operate off of a continuum. So there's the maybe shouldn't eat too much of this foods, and then there's the eat more of these foods. I'm plant preferred in that I promote eating lots of fruits and vegetables, and not saying don't eat meat, don't eat dairy, but I try to facilitate eating as much fruits and vegetables as you can, starting to think about meals from the focal point of how am I going to incorporate these vegetables, instead of, okay, what meat are we going to have tonight? And then, the vegetables are an afterthought. It's good to put your focus on what you should eat. First of all, fruits and vegetables are nature's medicine cabinet.
Yes.
Secondly, if you're getting all the fruits and vegetables you need, you're naturally not going to eat too much, too many burgers and fries, or, whatever else, because fruits and vegetables are full of nutrients. They're full of fiber that make you feel full. And of course, they're excellent for weight loss for that reason as well, and for weight maintenance. So I'd say that's another thing that differentiates me, is that I promote plant foods, but no food is bad. You
Right.
are welcome to eat anything you want. And I'm like you've said, because you're doing the program now, you might go to a birthday party and have a slice of cake. There's nothing wrong with that. So
yeah, I really like your plant preferred approach, because I do like to eat all of the food groups, and it's just a slight mindset shift. Instead of like having vegetables to accompany my steak accompanies my vegetables. I still get my steak. I just make sure I really get those veggies first. And it's been great, because now my kids are starting to, like, we were gnawing on celery the other day, whereas before I started this program, there's no way that would have happened. So it's making a positive impact on me. I know last month alone, I lost 7 pounds and 6.25 inches, which is just awesome. I was extremely happy with those results. It's making an impact on my kids and my family, because they're starting to see me. Monkey see, monkey do, right? They are watching. So they're seeing me eating healthier, and therefore they are eating healthier as well. And I'm just not buying some of the stuff. Some of the stuff just isn't making it into the pantry in the fridge as it used to. So they have no choice.
Yeah, environment is like one of the biggest factors. If it's not there, you're not
going to eat it. You're not missing it, right? So it's been great. I encourage you to check out Caitlyn's program. It's made a world of difference for me, because I've been one of those yo-yo dieters before. I mean, I've tried it all, right? I've been little, I've been big, I've been everything in between, and this is now the way I eat. And it's that simple. And I know any results I'm going to maintain, because it is that simple. Awesome. So Caitlyn, where can people find you?
So for my weight loss program specifically, you can, the quickest way to find out about that is at transcendweightloss.com. However, if you go to my blog, it also links to my weight loss program, as well as all the places you can follow me at. So if you go to Clean Cooking Caitlyn, and I spell that with a C and no Y's, CAITLIN, the right way, .com. And be sure to sign up for my email newsletter. I send out some delicious, healthy recipes every week, and I'll keep you updated on when my next weight loss programs are starting, which the next one is February 15th. So you'll want to jump on that. And I've got a discount going on right now too. So If you go to transcendweightloss.com, at the top, there's a nice little discount code you can use for our February 15th group.
Awesome. And we'll make sure all those links get into the show notes. So if you're listening to this or you're watching this, just click below and you can find your way to Caitlyn. Caitlyn, thank you so much. I know we are on the way to visit you when we hit Florida. So we are going to pull up to your house with the RV and you can go clean out my pantry for me and get rid of all the foods I shouldn't be eating.
I'm excited. It's going to be fun.
Yes, it will be fun. All right. This is Carmen Ventrucci with another episode of the Ruby Road Stage Tour podcast. Thank you for listening. Be sure to check out our website at therubyroad.com and check out my coaching website at truesisulife.com. We'll put links in the show notes for you. Catch us on the next episode.
Yes, you say hi. Now you got to go back inside, okay?
Bye, Claire.
Say hi, and then I got to send you back in, okay?
Hi.
Okay.
Hi, sweetie.
All right.
Awesome. Last minute hair.
Sounds good.
Sorry. I'm having one of those kind of funky hair days where it looks good and then 2 minutes later it has a mind of its own. Am I going
Oh,
to...
if the wind, like...
Oh, I need to dye my hair. Okay.
I didn't see it.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us on this episode of the Ruby Road. Make sure to click that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, leave us a huge thumbs up. Share it with your family and friends. Be part of our adventure. See you in the next episode. Bye.